John Watts and Spider-Man. He comes back with another Spider-Man called No Way Home. The first time Spider-Man was going home, second time Far From Home, and this time No Way Home. Well, Spider-Man No Way Home, the third movie of John Watts' triple in Spider-Man, is containing Spider-Man Far From Home and shows us what happened after the fight between Peter Parker and Mysterio. This time, Spider-Man sees multiverse and other enemies and characters like Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man 2004 and Electro from Spider-Man 2040, and they meet Tom Holland's Spider-Man and they say, "Holy shit, who are you, man? You're not my Peter Parker." And it will be worse when other villains come too, and they will not like other movies that now villains are regretful about the things they've done in past, and now they are good and they want to help humanity. No, they are so bad, and they're like previous Spider-Mans, and now they want to destroy the planet and kill people. The only question I always ask myself that if villains they want to kill people and destroy the planet, so where they want to live? There's no planet anymore. Also, but the things happened during the movie made Peter Parker in headlines of news. Wow. John Watts! Well, his two-faced Spider-Man, some coming and Far From Home, they were not successful like No Way Home. And before No Way Home, it couldn't make critics very much in prizes like the Oscar, etc. At least now, his Spider-Man No Way Home could be nominated for the best visual effects in the Oscar, and it's very good credit for John Watts. But who knows, maybe the great visual effects it had, we can count on best visual effects and maybe it can win the Oscar. But John Watts, well, he made the movie exciting and sad, but the presence of a series of things the movie had, well, in some points it removed that sadness effect. Like comedy things. For example, Ned, well, he was one of the main characters which wasn't good because he had fun side and he was out of that serious and sad side. Also, John made the movie for 148 minutes, the longest Spider-Man in his triple, and the bad point was this, that some part of first half of the movie was a sort of repetitive and it was not necessary to make, but they were not boring. Also, John Watts made the base of the movie from memory of fans, those made from Spider-Man's in past. The things that directors in these days are doing this very much, and why? Because it is easier and more exciting than new series. And again, why? Because we see new ideas which combine with our memories of all the Spider-Mans, and by this, a new series with the same memory and elements creates. However, in the review of the fourth Matrix, which you can see the review from this link, I said that these things which directors and studios they do, it's not fantastic always, and sometimes like a Spider-Man No Way Home, it becomes fantastic. One of the positive things that was did was about cast and characterizations. The characterization was very sensitive and it could use talent, smart and a sort of professional actors and of course actresses. About complication things, well, something does happen during the movie which make you think, oh my god, it's very complication, I can't understand, help me. But because of a constant storyline, you won't be confused and finally you'll figure out everything and you just understand, no, it was very simple. Spider-Man will again, like other Spider-Man movies, it had a message that with great power comes great responsibility. But it wasn't the only heavy thing which Peter Parker had to bear. As Parker had to save the world from villains of another world, he had to make superhero and sometimes emotional decisions which, if they were wrong, it could change everything of a storyline. So it needs a powerful and sensitive filmmaking, because the filmmaker had to show us so much, everything is so much important and sensitive, but not exaggerating and change the storyline. Also, the movie showed us the real meaning of being a superhero and villain, which was so hard, and I do not want to be a superhero anymore. Because as we saw, a superhero is in a situation that it is possible that he loses everything and everyone, and it shows us that why we most of times care about winning of a good over bad, and how it can change everything. But about Tom Holland, well, he made Peter Parker's character deeper, but still he had teen energy which made his relation between Zendaya and it amazing. In Spider-Man No Way Home, Spider-Man was so high technology, and it was the first time that Zendaya and Holland could use their knowledgeable in chemistry, physics and mathematics. In this movie we also had Dr. Strange. In this movie he was both emotional, sensitive, nervous, and fascinated by everything that happened in the movie. He was sure about everything he did, but sometimes when he lost the control of everything, as he said, "Acknowledgeable of multiverse is too much low," he became angry and confused, and all of these stuffs, well, no, most of these stuffs happened when he was fighting with the Spider-Man in Mirror, crazy rotation, especially action, which had a lot of emotions. And Michael Giacchino's music on that time was one of the best of MCU. The cinematography and visual effects were fantastic and perfect, from beautiful handheld camera, especially when Spider-Man was fighting with Doctor Strange in Crazy Mirror World, with the wonderful action it had, to few overwrought action beats, emotional, exciting, and a little comedy and visual effects, which can be the reason that what made the movie clear and it made his best movie. Also, we have to not ignore the speed of the movie. It had very good speed, although in my opinion some parts of the movie they were not necessary, but it was a movie and it had no time killing and engaged fans by crazy details, crazy visual effects, the constant storyline it had, great casting, and fantastic production. The film avoided wasting time and having any story traps that deceived the audience. John was unlike his two previous Spider-Mans, which at some points he exaggerated. In this movie, he had fewer exaggerations and he had better action. In this movie, we saw that how Peter impresses on Ned and MJ's life and their future. Also, again, we saw that how friends are important in our life, and sometimes friends, which is in this time, it comes back to MJ, they do sacrifice. About MJ, well, Zendaya's character behaves in an interesting and wonderful way at the end of the film, which is surprises you, and it was very emotional and nail-biting sequence. But Zendaya's performance could be better on that sequence. Although at all, Zendaya's performance was very good during the movie. But one of the differences between Spider-Man No Way Home and other superhero movies in these days was this, that other superhero movies, they just try to tell us the meaning of being a superhero, but No Way Home showed us a movie about Peter Parker who now he must grow up and control the problems which being Spider-Man brought to him, and control the torch of being a hero on his friends who they want to progress. At all, Spider-Man was Marvel's best movie or not, it was a comment which coming back to the watcher. But I think, yeah, it was one of Marvel's top 3 movies. Also, it was Tom Holland's and John Watts' best movie and one of the best movie of 2021. Until now, it had a great box office, $1.7 billion in all the world. And yeah, it's fantastic. Alright guys, it was the first review of today. Don't lose the second review. You can see it from this link. Come on, click on it, I mean this. So much talent to some reviews, don't forget to comment which movie you'd like me to have a review for you, and if you didn't like this video till now, hit custom second energy booster, and put your masks on to the next clip.